Most people are still typing prompts one at a time into a box. That is fine, and it is also the floor. The businesses pulling ahead this year are running several agents at once, each doing one narrow job, with something above them deciding who runs and something beside them checking the work. That is a multi-agent workflow. Here are 5 you can actually build, in the order I would build them, with the specific architecture for each one.
Before the list, one rule, because it decides whether any of these survive contact with a real weak. Reliability multiplies. If a single step is right 85% of the time, 10 of those chained together lands at about 19%. That is not a criticism of agents. It is just arithmetic. And it is why every workflow here has a checker in it. The agents do the work. Something else confirms the work. That second half is what makes it advanced.
4 words you need, because they are the actual building blocks. Routing, where one agent reads the input and decides which specialist handles it. Parallelization, where several agents work at the same time on different pieces. Orchestrator and worker, where a lead agent breaks a job into parts and hands them out. And evaluator and optimizer, where one agent produces and a second one grades it and sends it back if it is not good enough. Every workflow below is a combination of those 4.
Workflow 1, inventory and demand forecasting. This is an orchestrator and worker pattern with an evaluator on the end. And it is the one that pays for itself fastest if you hold stock of anything.
The orchestrator takes one question, what should I order this week, and splits it. Worker 1 reads your sales history and pulls the trend. Worker 2 reads anything external that moves your demand, the season, local events, whatever is real for you. Worker 3 holds supplier lead times and minimum order quantities. The orchestrator merges those 3 into a draft order. Then the evaluator does the part everybody skips. It takes last month's forecast, compares it to what actually sold, and reports the error before you are allowed to see this month's number. A forecast you cannot score is a guess, with extra steps.
Workflow 2, hyper-personalized ad creative. This is routing plus parallelization plus an evaluator, and it is the one where multi-agent genuinely beats a single prompt, because the job is producing many genuinely different things at once.
A router splits your audience into the personas you actually sell to. Then, one creative worker per persona runs in parallel, and each one only knows its own person, its own pain point, its own stage of the decision. That isolation is the trick. It is what stops you getting 10 versions of the same ad with a new background. Then an evaluator scores the batch against a diversity rubric, and any 2 concepts that are secretly the same idea get killed and regenerated. The winners land in a queue for you to approve. Nothing goes live unapproved.
Workflow 3. Quote to cash. This is routing into a constrained builder with a margin checker, and it is the one that touches money. So it is the one with the hardest guardrail.
A classifier reads the incoming inquiry and routes it. Standard job, custom job, or not a fit. Standard goes to a builder agent that is allowed to use your real price list and nothing else. It cannot invent a number. If the job does not match the list, it stops and says so. Then a second agent checks the margin on what the first one produced against your floor and flags anything thin. You sign. The agent never sends the quote. That single rule is what keeps this one profitable instead of expensive.
Workflow 4. Reputation and review recovery. This is a sentiment router with 2 completely different downstream paths, and it is the lowest risk build on the list.
When a job is marked complete, a router asks one question. Did this go well or not? Happy customers go to a drafting agent that writes the review request in your voice and holds it for your batch approval in the evening. Unhappy ones go somewhere else entirely, straight to you, immediately, with the transcript attached and no automated message sent at all. Automating the apology is how businesses turn one bad job into a public one. The split is the whole design.
Workflow 5. The weekly operations analyst. This is parallelization into a synthesizer, with exception reporting on top, and it is the one that replaces the report nobody reads.
Several readers run at once. One over sales, one over ad performance, one over your calendar and capacity. 1 over cash. Each returns the same short shape, what moved and by how much. A synthesizer merges them into one page. Then, the exception layer does the useful part. It only tells you what fell outside the band you set. If everything is normal, you get one line saying everything is normal. Most dashboards fail because they show you everything. This one is built to show you almost nothing.
Every one of those 5 needs an answer to the same question, and it is the question that separates a system from a demo. What does it do when it is not sure? The answer is always the same, and it is always boring. Stop, do nothing, tell the human, attach what you have. An agent that escalates when it is uncertain is worth more than one that proceeds confidently, because you can fix a stopped workflow in a minute, and you cannot unsend a wrong quote.
So the order: build the review loop first, because it is lowest risk and it pays. Then the weekly analyst, because it costs nothing and it tells you where the money actually is. Then quote to cash. Then forecasting. Then the creative engine last, because it is the biggest, and it needs the others working before it is worth the effort. Build one. Run it for 2 weeks. Then build the next. The businesses winning with this are not the ones running the most agents. They are the ones who know exactly what each agent is allowed to do without asking. The prompts and the architecture diagrams for all 5 are linked below. Free. Next one is on what to do when an agent gets it wrong in front of a customer.